Tonight, the 15-round World's Heavyweight Championship between former undefeated world champion Joe Louis and the present NBA champion Ezzard Charles.
Tonight's blue ribbon bout, the 15-round World's Heavyweight Championship between Ezzard Charles, the Cincinnati Cobra, the current NBA heavyweight champion, and Joe Louis, the Detroit Brown Bomber, the undefeated former heavyweight champion of the world. And it's just before ring time. So let's look in the ring and see exactly what's doing. Tonight, it's the big question of the battle of the ifs. And the big if tonight seems to be divided in two parts. Two big questions will be answered in just a few minutes when Joe Louis, Detroit's Brown Bomber, who gave up the heavyweight championship undefeated 18 months ago, faces Ezzard Charles, National Boxing Association kingpin, for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Now the questions are, can the great Louis come back at the age of 36, over 2 years since his great last title effort? And just how good is Ezzard Charles? This bout marks the first in New York for the heavyweight title since Louis knocked out Jersey Joe Walcott in 11 rounds on June 25th, 1948, here at Yankee Stadium. Louis, with that fight, I think, established himself as perhaps the greatest of all champions. For the record book shows that it was the 25th defense of the coveted crown that he won from Jim Braddock back in 1937 in Chicago. And he defended his crown, as you know, 15 times more than Jack Johnson, 19 more than Jack Dempsey, and 21 times more than Jim Jeffries. And great champions like John L. Sullivan, Jim Corbett, and Bob Fitzsimmons defended their crowns, once were, then dethroned. By the way, the action in the ring right now, as you see, is the midget who has come into the ring. And as he's in there, wandering across, the boys are saying, throw him out, throw him out. So the excitement, of course, is always attendant upon one of these great little pieces of side play, and, of course, there the bow.
Introducing from Cincinnati, Ohio, wearing black trunks, weighing 184.5 pounds, Ezzard Charles. Charles. His opponent from Detroit, Michigan, wearing purple trunks, weighing 218, Joe Louis. Louis. 15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Now, as you look at the center of the ring, there's the usual huddle as Joe Louis and his managers and trainers
Louis and Charles, both
take their orders from Mark
Hahn. Familiar with the rules of this state, and I'm here to see that you box according to those rules. Be careful of your body blows. A low blow may cost you the round. If you score a knockdown, go to the corner to which I send you and stay there until I tell you to come out and resume fighting. In close, I want you to punch with both hands free. When I see you clinching there, I'm going to tell you to stop punching, and I want you both to stop punching on the break and step back clean. Now shake hands and good luck to both of you.
Well, you know, officially a championship bout with no champion in it is what you're looking at tonight. The winner, however, will be recognized in New York and by the NBA as the world champion. You're going to see the famous Joe Louis in his famous fighting style, and an Ezzard Charles, who is a cobra and a striking puncher with hand always held high. There's a different Louis. He's not out to counter punch, he's out to end it. 36 years of age, his opponent 29. Louis with his back to you. Ezzard Charles, easily identifiable with the stripe, the white stripe down his trunks. first round, and there's excitement and action. A goodly crowd here tonight, and you can hear them in our Pabst Blue Ribbon microphone. This is a Lewis who constantly stalks, as you know. Charles has Joe's nose just slightly colored, but Joe is in there to punch. £33 difference in favor of Lewis. 218 to 184 and a half. Notice how Charles keeps that right high up to his chin to shoot it out in case he has to. Crafty, agile, excellent boxer. 1 minute to go, first round. Joe tried for the punch that time. They may talk about Lewis's reflexes being slow, but his punch is still there. Half a minute to go of the first round. Although Charles is considered rather light for a heavyweight at his weight of 184 and a half. Remember that Bob Fitzsimmons weighed 156 and a half for his championship fight with Jim Corbett back in 1897. Now, as we follow Lewis back to his corner, the crowd roared for the exciting action of the first round. Joe Lewis, as you know, and perhaps you don't, so I'll remind you, has fought 61 bouts in his career. This is his 62nd. He has never fought a preliminary. He won 60 of those fights, lost only one. That was the knockout to Max Schmeling. Knocked out 52 of his opponents. Never fought a draw. Now let's go over and take a look at Ezzard Charles. Ezzard Charles, at 184 and a half, has fought 73 fights. He's won 67 of them. He's lost 5. He drew 1. He was knocked out but once in his life, as was Joe Lewis. And he KO'd 43 of his opponents. Now there's the 10-second warning whistle. Round 2. And we'll see what's going to happen. Comments around here indicate they're all waiting to see what's going to happen.
You say 4?
Both with those beautiful lefts. One off a counter by Charles, which is unusual. And now they're punching. Sentimental crowd with Joe Lewis, and delighted that he is forcing fighting rather than waiting for the counter punching. And Charles hitting. I think the exciting comment is that Ezzard Charles does not seem the least bit frightened of Joe Lewis's great prowess. Well, there's the first of the combinations that worked, and Lewis landed that right hand with 2 minutes to go of round 2. Lewis seems much younger than his 36 years the way he's going in these first 2 rounds. I don't know what his plan of action is, but it certainly has proven that he wants to get out and end it as fast as he can. Many years ago in the Billy Conn fight, Lewis said, "I'll box him and then knock him out." He's boxing Ezzard Charles tonight. They are punching each other, and the blows are telling and they're landing. One minute to go of the second round. And the crowd likes this one because this is really a good fight. Charles hasn't changed his style. He's beating Lewis a bit to the punches. Half a minute to go of the second round, and most everyone is now on the edge of their seats. They didn't quite expect it to be this good so early. They're talking up around the ringside. The comments are all indicating exactly as we're passing it on to you. The round is almost over. And there it is, the bell ending round.